So I had someone write to me and say that they tried to they got their harness on their Cape Parrot. It took like 10 minutes. I was like, that sounds about right. It was a struggle. The parrot hated it. It was hard to do. Finally got it on. Went outside, and at first the parrot struggled, but then the parrot, then he kind of mellowed out, and I think kind of enjoyed being out for a little while. Then afterwards they came back in, and it was another struggle, and the parrot was hanging upside down on the harness and had to towel him, and feathers came out. How do you get your bird on a harness, or how do you handle that? Hey guys, I'm KALYN, the author of The Parrot Bliss Bond. This is my hawkhead land shark who has been sick. She's 20. We don't know if she's just towards the end of her life, an old lady, or not. If she's really, just got something. Been to the vet. This is some of my daughter's awesome drawings on merch. I love this t-shirt. Shop.parrotbliss.com. I love my parrots. I have over 22 species. If you already knew that this was land shark, then you're used to hanging out. Thank you for being here. I love my fans almost as much as I love my parrots. Now, what do we do about that harness situation? You can hear Lorenza, my yellow nape, in the background, and I will show her to you in a minute. But I will say that she's so easy. When I adopted her, I did not know this, but she can't fly. I could go into why, but it's a theory and it's not relevant. That means that if I want to take a bird to lunch or out for a walk, I could just put her on my shoulder and just go. It's really easy. Now, if you've seen my video on harnesses and tethers, you know that I have 20? It's a little ridiculous. Because I've tried different harnesses for my birds, and you want to try a different size for a different bird, for a different build. And by the way, when I adopted land shark as an adult, she was already a plucker. So that's why she's a little naked. So I've got all these different ones, and another reason I have different ones is because sometimes, you find the right one that works, and there's some truth to that. I have found some that I like better for this bird. I have found some I like better for that bird. One of the other things that happens is the bird itself. Some of them kind of get used to, are okay with the tether. Some are okay with the harness. The tether goes around their ankle. There are different tethers. Some are metal. I don't get it. I don't know how you put it on. I don't get it. I don't get it. Some are like a leather strap, and then you clip the strap. The strap has loops, so you clip into the loops. It's not easy to put on. Your bird is not initially used to it, so they're fighting you. But I like that because it's just one thing that you put around their ankle, and putting the harness on and taking it off, sometimes you do lose feathers, and they do give you more of a struggle because they get more confined. I can't say one is better than the other. I've had them come out of both, so you just have to make sure you get them on right, no matter which one you use. Some birds are better with the harness. Some birds are like, I'm gonna act like I'm dying if you put that thing on me. I have one like that, River, our green cheek conure. The way she responded when I was trying to put the harness on, I was just like, this isn't worth it. What if she really, it's just not worth it. I don't know. Is she just being dramatic? She's hating this, which means I'm hating it. So, screw it. That's ultimately what I said. There's different harnesses and tethers. There's different parrot personalities, and you kind of have to find the match, and you kind of have to find what works for you. The first maybe 3 times that I put a harness on a parrot, it is hell. It is very difficult. They're miserable. It makes me miserable. They're fighting. They're biting. They're, you know, it's not a comfortable situation. By usually the 4th or 5th time, it's not so bad. And then by the 6th or 7th time, they kind of are more allowing. And, you know, there's the green cheek conure I tamed once upon a time. And by then, you know, he would kind of sit still and let me put the tether on. And, you know, it's like he knew the routine. The first 3 times, they don't know the routine. And it's crazy, you know, like they're being constrained. They're constrained by the tether. It's very hard, or by the harness. Is it worth the effort? I think it depends. It depends on your parrot, because for some parrots, really, it may just be better to put them in a carrier and take them with you. No, it's not the same. No, it's not as nice. Maybe for some parrots, it's worth getting the little ankle tether and giving them a light trim so that they can still fly, but hopefully not gain quite as much altitude if something scares them. And then be really careful. Get a leather tether so that the fabric's not going to hurt their skin. And make sure you get the really coily cord, and I'm not home, otherwise I would show you mine, so that it really gives. So if they take off, it's not like they go, you know, they get really stopped. It's more of a slow stop. So I have great compassion because Cape Parrots have really sharp, big honking beaks, something like land shark. Land shark has a really big beak for a parrot. She's got baby food on her because I've been feeding her, and since she's not doing well, it just hasn't been worth trying to wash it off of her. I'd rather have her rest. I'm trying to get her to recuperate and get better. But, you know, I have great compassion because I know that, you know, Cape Parrots are so sweet, and mine don't really bite us. Sometimes they'll beak. And Quantum, my male, his latest thing is he kind of beaks and kind of nudges like, hey, make that finger go over here and pet me right here, you know? And so you don't want to spoil the relationship. You want to make sure that it's really working for you. It is very difficult the first 3 times. After that, it really does get better. So yes, if you have a second pair of hands to help hold the bird, it does make it easier. It doesn't change their experience of, you know, kind of being constrained. It doesn't change some of the experience. It just makes putting the harness on and off a little easier. This person had also said that, like, they had such a hard time getting the harness off, they wanted to cut it. I have done that before. I have said, if I can't get this off, if I cut the harness, I won't have a harness. Screw it. I'm cutting the harness. So I understand, and I have done that before, and I was like, this harness, it's not worth it. It's just, I don't care. I'm getting this off of my bird. So I understand, you know, you really, like, I feel like there's no judging this. You have to find what works for your parrot, and that's that. So kind of be willing to try maybe a different harness. Be willing, maybe the tether that goes around the ankle works better. Being able to take them with you places is phenomenal. It makes me really happy. I really enjoy going, like, out to lunch or even on a walk or whatever it is. But it does take persistence. And the hardest thing is you can have a really hard experience like that, and then you'll need to do it again the next day. I thought that was a tail lift. So I totally understand. Decide whether or not it's worth keeping at it. If it is, try to be really consistent and do like 4 days in a row, because then by the 4th day it'll be better. If you do 3 or 4 days but they're spaced out, like you do one day you do the harness, one day you don't do the harness, that's going to make it much more difficult. You're going to kind of relive that first day for more than one day. You're going to, you know, it makes it, the process, more difficult. So if you keep more consistent and just do it day after day after day, your parrot knows what's going on. It's part of the daily routine, so it's easier for them to adjust. I hope that really helps, because I think this is a really big topic when you have a pet parrot. So, you know, it's just really big when it comes to being able to bond and really spend some really wonderful time and take them out with you. So I hope that helps. And I will catch you in the next feathered video. If you want to join my group, you need to visit parrotbliss.com. It's at the top. It'll say groups. Members get an extra video every week, and we meet privately on a Discord forum. We have a really nice community. It's awesome. Awesome parrot merch at shop.parrotbliss, and I will see you next time.